Great morning, great morning, great morning. I am Nicole D. Jones, and I'm just happy and grateful for another day. I'm happy and grateful for you. I'm happy and grateful for life. I don't take life for granted. I don't take it lightly. I'm just happy and I'm grateful. I'm thankful that I have another day to look at me, to right my wrongs, to put myself in a humble and submissive posture. I'm thankful for that today because I know that there was a season in my life where I didn't know how to do that. I know there was a season in my life where I didn't care to do it. So I'm just happy and grateful for life. I'm happy and grateful for growth. And again, I'm happy and grateful for you. Thank you for everyone who joined and became a member of the community that we're creating. I am happy and I'm grateful for that. Please share it. Invite whoever you believe would just get something. If nothing else from what we do from the mindset call. So definitely if you know anyone who can apply the meal plan to their life, who's willing to deal with their mindset, who's willing to get education in different forms and fashions, who's willing to be accountable, not only to themselves, but to you, to me, to a group of people, and someone that you believe that their lifestyle has the room to grow and to change. Definitely invite them out. Right now, it is a free platform. I'll probably keep it free, do some other things as we grow it. But I came across that platform and I just think it's a great way for us to communicate. It's a great way for us to be able to do an extension of what we do with the mindset, as well as just a place to house different classes that I have and different events that I will be doing. So thank you again. And Ms. Jacinta, thank you for putting it in the group for me yesterday. Anyone again who has joined, you can invite. There's actually like a whole little system that if you invite members, you become these different levels of ambassadors. And depending on what level you go on, I will be sending you some meal plan products. So definitely something I encourage you to do, because anytime we can get something, why not? Okay, so we're going to continue with how successful people think. John C. Maxwell. Oh, wait a minute. I see I'm getting ahead of myself. I am so happy and grateful that we are healthy, that we are wealthy, that we are prosperous. Everything our hands go to touch, it must, it shall, and it will manifest, prosper, grow. Every goal that we set, it must manifest, prosper, and grow. It is because of who we are and whose we are. Do not forget that. I'm going to keep saying it until I can't say it anymore. But so what I want to talk to you about today is putting yourself in the right place to think. Okay, so we already discussed and we know that we got to get rid of stinking thinking. All right, because what you think is what you become. So if you got stinking thinking, your journey gonna be stinky. Things aren't gonna come together for you. Okay, it's gonna you're making it harder. You're putting more pressure on yourself. That's not who we are. That's not how we're created. We're royalty. We have dominion over all things. All right. We don't roll like that. Okay. So we got to know that change thinking isn't automatic. It is difficult, but it's worth the investment and it is possible. Okay. So what you want to do first is put yourself in the right place to think. You got to find a space. You got to find a place. All right. So people who know me, there was a season where my place was Panera Bread. I would go to Panera. I knew all the staff. They knew me. They knew what I was going to order. I'm very picky and particular with my food. They knew how to make my salad. I could go in there, drink unlimited glasses of tea, and just be merry. Okay? It was good for me because I picked Panera Bread because it took me out of my home. It took me out of my workspace. It just gave me a place where I could go and I could think freely, okay? So the first thing you need to do is you gotta designate a thinking place, all right? So you have to know to get successful, to get successful in thinking, to think like successful people do, you have to know it's not complicated, but it is a discipline, okay? You have to discipline yourself to be willing to do this. Think about when you're at home. There are so many distractions, okay? Think about if you're at work. There are so many distractions. Think about when you're somewhere where everyone knows you and they're always pulling on you. That's not the place. Design a specific place where you will think, okay? Another place I think a lot is in the shower. I don't know about y'all. I don't know if it's just the water that be falling. I don't know if it's washing off the day, washing off the sin. I don't know what it is, but it's like Holy Spirit will give me a whole everything. Like, man, the shower is a place for me. When I'm in the car, some people like to go to the park. Some people like to be out in nature. So just designate that thinking place, okay? You also want to have a place where your thoughts can be shaped, all right? So you want to designate a place where you can think. You want to designate a place where your thoughts can be shaped, all right? You have to understand that even when Jehovah God speaks to us, he shows us things in parts, okay? So you think about, like, when you get a good idea, it's an idea, but most of the time, an idea does not come in your mind, and then A to Z steps come also. So you got to be able to have a designated place where you think. You got to have a designated place where you can go and shape your thought, all right? Let me see what else I wrote. So in the place where you shape, this is where you're going to be able to ask the questions and answer them. So if you have a thought about making an apple pie from scratch, okay, you got this thought in your thinking place. This is an example. Now you go to the place where you shape it. That's where you ask the questions. Well, what ingredients would I need? What all will I have to go get? Do I have the ingredients or do I need to go to the store? Have I ever baked before? All of that, where you shape the thought, okay? Then you got to find out if it even has potential. See, in the shaping part, is this something that I can even do? All right? Everyone don't have a bacon thumb. Everyone doesn't have a green thumb. You know, the thought came in. Is it a great idea for it to be something that I pursue? Or was it a great idea? And because I know twins bake, because I know Tia bake, do I need to call them and tell them I had this idea? Shape your thought. Figure out if that thought that you had is action worthy. Maybe that's a good way to put it, okay? You also want to make sure in this place you're writing things down. It is so important when you have thoughts to write them down, okay? Like I said, thoughts come, they come in part. They don't usually come in fullness. So you should write it down. And then even when you write things out, you write the vision, you make it plain. You can see it, all right? So when you start writing things out, sometimes you'll see something and you'll be like, you know what, this is ludicrous. This is just a thought. I don't know why I was thinking about this. This is a no. This is a no-go. And then there's some thoughts that'll come, and as you write it out and you start shaping it, man, it's just like more and more and more is coming. So you know that it's a good thought and it's something you want to expand, okay? So this is anywhere you can write your focus without interruptions, ask the questions, and you can do this at any time, all right? So when you're on your break, just make sure it's at a time where you can go to a thinking space. if it's in your car, in the park, whatever, uninterrupted, where you can focus on that thought, write some stuff out and get a vision of it, or know that it's not one that you need to do, okay? The third thing, you need a place where you can stretch the thought, all right? You need a place where you can stretch the thought. Hold on one second. This is my dad. He got a doctor's appointment. Hey, Dad. Dad, I was trying to make sure you were up for your appointment. Okay, I'm gonna call you right back after the call. Okay, love you. All right. Bye-bye. Okay, so the third place is you have to have that place or that space where you can stretch your thought, all right? This is where you include people, okay? So I know that we feel like we have this great idea. We don't want anyone to steal it from us and all of this stuff. Listen, it's better to have a team, okay? It's better to have a team because you may have a thought that is just thoughtless, but because you feel like you have it and you did it and all of that, you may then feel like it's this great thought. But when you go and you start adding people in, and when I say adding people, again, these mindsets we're building. So when I talk about adding people, I'm talking about people who deserve access to you. I'm talking about your circle. I'm talking about your three. I'm talking about the ones that you can trust. I'm talking about the ones who have made themselves worthy of your space, your place, and your time, okay? I'm not talking about just anybody putting input in on these thoughts, okay? But you're stretching places where you have that safe haven, where you can give it to them and they can help you stretch it, all right? This part includes some of the most valuable aspects of the thinking process. Because what's going to happen is when you bring others in, it's going to help you expand your thought because they're going to think about something you didn't think about. Okay? So then two thoughts are better than one. All right? That's why the person that in this stretching area, your team, your people have to be people that you trust, have to be the people that are called to you for this thought in this season for a specific reason. Okay? So, bringing others expand the greatest potential. All right? Then remember, you can go much farther with a team rather than alone. And Mike Murdoch says, no, I'm not doing Mike Murdoch, excuse me. John C. Maxwell, in the book, he says, right thoughts plus right people in the right environment at the right time for the right reasons equal right results. I'm gonna say that one more time. This is his quote. This is his formula, okay? Right thoughts plus right people in the right environment at the right time for the right reasons equal right results, okay? So the next thing you want to do. So right now, we know that we want to designate thinking places or a thinking place where we can think our thought, we can shape our thought, we can stretch our thought, and now we want to land our thought, all right? The real power of a thought comes from abstraction to application, all right? So now we want to land our thought. This is where we are now, we've gotten the thought, we've questioned it, we've seen if it's going to grow, we see if it's something we're going to do. We've included our team, our thought team, all right? We've expanded it when we stretched it. Now we want to land it, okay? Great ideas need landing gear as well as wings. Any idea that remains only an idea doesn't make great impact. The real power of an idea comes when it goes from extraction to application, okay? If you want your thoughts to make an impact, you need to land them with others so they can someday be implemented. As you plan for the application phase of the thinking process, land your ideas first with yourself, key players, those that are most affected. Oh, y'all forgive me. I'm just hot. So you got to know your market. You got to know who you're trying to reach. When you get this thought, you have to know, how does it affect you? How does it affect the key players? And what's your target audience? Okay? You have to know this. All right. And then the last thing, you have to find a place to fly your thoughts. All right? So we got, for anyone taking notes, putting yourself in the right place to think. You want to find a place to think your thoughts. You want to find a place to shape your thoughts. You want to find a place to stretch your thoughts. You want to find a place to land your thoughts. And now you want to find a place to fly your thoughts. All right? What is good thinking if it has no application in real life? Learning how to master the process of thinking well leads you to productive thinking. All right? If you can develop the discipline of good thinking and turn it into a lifetime habit, then you will be successful and productive all of your life. Think about that. Let me say that again. If you can develop the discipline of good thinking and turn it into a lifetime habit, then you would be successful and productive all of your life. Once you've created, shaped, stretched, and landed your thoughts, then flying them can be fun and easy. Why am I saying this? You got to know it takes discipline, okay? You have to remember, because everything goes back. I'm going to keep going back to the Garden of Eden, because that's where everything goes, all right? It goes back to the Garden of Eden, all right? You have to understand that this is where the thoughts are. And you have to understand that this is where the, in your mind, is where the battles are, okay? So you have to be intentional, to be disciplined, to sift through those thoughts that are not good, all right? How successful people think is what we're learning. The habits of successful people. Getting rid of our stinking thinking, all right? So you have to be disciplined to do this. You have to. You got to understand the battlefields in the mind. So every thought is not a good thought. No matter how revelating you think it is when you get it and you think it's this whole aha, you still got to do the process of that thought to understand if it's a good thought, to understand if it's what you need to do in this season. This is why you have to write things down, okay? Because you may get a thought and maybe it's just not the season. Maybe time will birth it, but you have to be willing to be disciplined enough to go through these steps, to even sift through it, to even be able to know what to share, what not to share. Because in this, it will give you the behavior of thinking the next thought. And that is so relevant. If it is something that you're trying to grow and you're trying to do, an idea, the meal plan, it was a vision that was given to me over 3 years ago. In the process of that, okay, I've had to apply these steps, all right? I first found a place to think about it, all right? Trying to find it, all right? I found a place to think, and then I shaped it. I wrote it down. I asked different questions. And you know what's hard for me with the meal plan? Because I'm realizing and I understand now it's something that we just, it's an ongoing, until we lead this journey, it is ongoing. It is an open document, whatever, live document, whatever they call it. Revelation, good thoughts come about it all the time. And I've had to learn how to do this without even realizing that that's what I was doing. So I had to stretch the thoughts. I had to get a meal plan team. I had to get, a group of individuals that I trust where we meet regularly to go over these thoughts that I'm having, because even though they're thoughts that come to my mind, they're not all good thoughts. They're not all things that I'm supposed to be doing, okay? But then once I stretched it, I found a place to land it. And now we found a place to fly it. So you see the network, you see the community, you see the product, you see all these things, because now it's manifesting and growing. But I've had to learn to be disciplined and make it a habit and make it something that I am doing ongoing, okay? But we have to learn to apply this to every aspect of our life, all right? We have to learn to apply it every aspect of our life, okay? Hold on one second. Now this is my sister, Vicky. I'm doing a mindset call. I woke Dad up for his appointment though. I'll call you back. All right. But we're gonna make sure my dad gets a doctor. Can y'all tell? But anyway, just make sure that you're able to apply this process of good thinking, okay? And just allow it to become a habit for you to just be intentional to think the next thought, all right? Because we want to be successful. We want to be successful in our relationships. We want to be successful in our entrepreneurship. We want to be successful in our training, our trading. You know, if you're part of the trading team, we want to be successful in every aspect of our life, because we're understanding that we're going to continue to be the best us unapologetically. And in doing that in the right posture, in the right way, and all these different things, then we will understand that it can do nothing but grow us. It can do nothing but put us in an overflow, because our overflow is not for us. It is for us to continue to pour out and to share, okay? The platform that I created is not for me to try to get big ups. It's just the way that I thought that we could begin to communicate and we could begin to pour into one another, grow and do life with one another past the Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for 30 minutes, okay? But so again, I want you to, if you have not, this is a great little book to add to your collection, all right? How Successful People Think, John C. Maxwell. It's an easy read. And this is just something that he has done, he's tried, and he's had success in it. There are many other things you can do. But anyone who knows who Pastor Maxwell is, he has done actual like workshops and all these things on becoming a key thinker and successful in leadership and all these different things. So I trust the process. And y'all stop trying to reinvent wheels. If there are things already in place and it works, that gets people to millionaire and billionaire statuses, if that's what you're trying to do, why y'all trying to recreate them? If y'all don't jump on the bandwagons that work, listen. So again, I just want you guys to remember, all right? Designate for your thinking process, a place to think, a place to shape, a place to stretch, land, and fly your successful and good thoughts, all right? So, Warriors Wednesday, I almost forgot. Shout out to my mascot, Sarai. But remember that you are a warrior that's victorious. Remember to stay humble, to stay focused, to stay positive. Thank you again. If you have not already, please, join the community, collab with us, be a part of this journey called life, where we could walk together. Definitely do it. Remember all the time who you are and whose you are, that we are learning to be who we are unapologetically through a posture of submission, and that will produce humility, okay? I am Nicole D. Jones, and I want you to continue to have a fantabulous rest of the day. Smooches.